So hello and welcome back to my channel. This is OB Martha, and today we're going to be making keto breadcrumbs. If you're a collector like me, I like collecting beautiful containers, especially when I know that I have the likelihood of using it to store something that will be airtight. You know, sometimes you go to the store, you want to buy plastics, but they tend to become expensive, and before you know it, you have plastic all over your house. Okay, so I decided to preserve this my coconut oil plastic, washed it and dried it out, so it's very dry now. And you know, in this way of eating, sometimes we make recipes, especially keto bread. We make recipes, they turn out bad. Or sometimes it's not that they turn out bad, but we're tired of eating them, and then we have them sitting in the fridge. And what do we do with them? What can we do with them? Or maybe you make a bread recipe that turns wrong, and you're like, oh, these things are so expensive, I don't know what to do, I don't want it to go to waste. So I'm trying to tell you today that there's something you can actually do with some of those your keto breads or keto baked goods that you have available. Instead of trashing them, you turn them to something else. Sometimes you can even repurpose that recipe and make something else out of it. But today we're going to be making breadcrumbs. Here I have some keto breads. It turned out great, but sometimes by the time I'm done, I have so much of them that I don't know what to do. This was a recipe I tried as I can't even remember what it was. But what I basically did with this was I dried it. You can do this in the oven in your lowest setting. You can do it in your dehydrator. You can even do it in your air fryer. What you just need to do is dry it out, dehydrate it until you get dry bread. All right. So my dry bread is ready. I don't want to go into how you're going to dry your bread. Anybody can do that. What I'm going to do right now is mince my dry bread. I'm going to mince them together, all of them. And then we're going to put it, ooh, that was hard. We still need to crumble it some more. Yeah, this looks good. It's not already blended. So it's all blended in. If you have chunks like this, you can decide to throw them out, but I think this did a good job. Now I'm going to season it. To season my breadcrumbs, I'm going to be using my adobo seasoning. I might use a little bit of my steak seasoning, but whatever I put in here depends on what I want. I have onion powder, I have garlic powder, I have parsley flakes, and then I have smoked paprika. And because this bread already has salt, you have to be careful with the salt, and there is also salt in the seasoning, so you have to be careful with the quantity of salt that you add to your breadcrumbs. Oh, this smells so good. This is just gonna be so good for ribs. I'm gonna use a tablespoon and a half of my smoked paprika, about a tablespoon of adobo seasoning, a tablespoon of parsley flakes. I'm just gonna mix it in, see what it looks like, and decide if I need to add some more. but I think that is okay. You don't want to have too much parsley flakes in your mix, but like I said, it's still your choice to make. So this looks good. A tablespoon of onion powder and a teaspoon, but I'm using the tablespoon, half of it, of garlic powder. So I'm just gonna add maybe a tablespoon of my steak seasoning, but if you don't have this, you can always just add maybe a teaspoon of ground black pepper. So look at it. Oh, that looks so good.